Hi everybody, this is Leslie and you're watching Midlife and Nailing It. If you could please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to include in the description box below a link to the video that explains all the rules for our 100 subscriber giveaway. Today I have for you a what's for dinner video. I put one of these videos up every Monday. This week I have 2 meals. It's just we're still busy from Christmas and New Year's and everything. We went out to eat a few times. We had one last Christmas party. So 2 meals is all I made last week. So let's get started. So first up, I am making beef stroganoff, and you want to start off with a package of stew meat. And I always cut the chunks that are in there actually in half so that they're smaller, and that's what I'm showing you here. To the stew meat, I'm going to add 1 onion finely chopped up and a 1/4 cup of flour, as well as salt and pepper to taste. So I'm adding my onion to my stew meat, as well as my flour, and of course my salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to make sure my stew meat is coated evenly with the flour. So this is what it'll look like once you've stirred it up. We all know how well I am at stirring and holding a camera, so I went ahead and stirred that off camera. So yeah, that's what you're looking for. So to your pan, you're going to add a stick of butter. I know that is a lot of butter, but this is definitely comfort food. We only have it once or twice a year. My mom used to make it, so yeah, just as long as you're not making this once a week, I think you'll be all right. But you want to add a stick of butter and let that melt. You're going to add your stew meat with the flour and the onion and salt and pepper, and you want to start browning that up. So this is what it's going to look like at this stage. You're not trying to cook it through. All you're doing is searing all the sides and browning it up a bit. So next you're going to add a cup of water and turn your burner down to low, and then cover it with a lid and let it cook for 45 minutes. You don't touch it or anything. So this is what it'll look like after the hour's up, and you want to make sure you stir it super well. Next, you're going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup and make sure that that is stirred in really well. So this is what it'll look like, and then you want to get a lid on it and let it simmer for 30 minutes on low. When I've got about 15 minutes left for my stroganoff to cook, I go ahead and start boiling some water. So for stroganoff, I think that an egg noodle is best. I picked this one up at a specialty shop by my house, but I know Mueller's has an egg noodle. So you're going to cook your noodles according to whatever package they come in. So my noodles are boiling away back there. So this is what my stroganoff looks like when it's done. You want to take it off of the burner and start stirring it up really well. Next, you're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. It's so important that your pan is not on the burner when you do this. So this is what the stroganoff looks like when it's done. It is so creamy and delicious, you guys. You will love it. So my noodles are done and drained, and I'm just adding the meat and sauce into the pot with the noodles. So this is what the stroganoff looks like after I've mixed it up really well. I use a spatula and I do it very gently. So this is what that meal looks like plated up. I know that you'll love this if you give it a try. It is so very, very good. So next I'm making a lasagna. I try to make a lasagna during the 2 weeks we're off, maybe New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. This ended up being a few days after New Year's Day. But yeah, so I'm just browning up a couple pounds of hamburger there. To my hamburger, I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic chopped up. I'm also adding about a teaspoon or two of the Italian seasoning. I just shake it in, guys, so I'm kind of estimating what I'm adding, and then sometimes I use fresh seasoning, sometimes I don't, but today I'm using the Italian seasoning. So next I'm going to add some nutmeg. I get the whole nutmeg. So this is the tool I use to grate the nutmeg. My grandmother gave this to me. She had it a million years. I've had it a million years. It's bent, but it works. And I put in about a half of a whole nutmeg. So my meat is all browned up with all this seasonings, and I'm getting ready to drain it and add sauce. So this is the sauce I decided to try at Kroger. I usually get more of an expensive sauce because it usually is thicker, tastes better, has fresher seasonings in it. I use a jar and a half here. This sauce was okay. I prefer Emeril's sauce, but unfortunately my new Kroger here doesn't carry it. So yeah, I'm going to probably give Kroger a call and request that they start carrying that brand or some of the better brands, because I'm not super impressed with the sauces in the area, my new area that I lived here. It's kind of disappointing. It's a dilemma for me, guys. Anyway, so I let my meat sauce simmer for a bit. Next, to a bowl, I go ahead and add some ricotta cheese, that's 16 ounces. I'm also going to add to my bowl about half of that Parmesan cheese. So I don't know, guys, like a half a cup maybe. So a half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Sometimes I shred it myself, but I was lazy this day. I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning to my bowl. Lastly, I go ahead and scramble up 2 eggs and add that to my bowl as well. So I'm just adding my egg here, and I'm going to go ahead and mix that up super good. So this is what the ricotta cheese mixture looks like, all mixed up. And my meat sauce has simmered and it's ready to go. So I go ahead and spray Pam in the bottom of my lasagna pan, and then I put a little bit of a layer of meat sauce in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to be using this Mueller's Oven Ready Lasagna noodles. I went ahead and switched over to Oven Ready. I had tried them a long time ago and they didn't work out well, but I think that they're making them better now. So it's all I use now, but of course you could boil noodles if you wanted to use not oven ready noodles as well. So I just put a layer of noodles down. Then I put a layer of our ricotta cheese mixture that we made. Next, I put an entire package of the mozzarella cheese slices. I like how even this melts. It's my new trick. Anyway, so I get the layer of cheese down on the side there. I just rip the cheese. I could cut it nice and neat, but I don't. After that, I do another layer of meat sauce, then another layer of noodles, and then I come in with another layer of ricotta cheese. I don't add a layer of mozzarella after this purposely. If you wanted to, you could. Next, another layer of meat sauce, and then another layer of lasagna noodles. Next, the final layer of meat sauce. Next, I add another package of the sliced mozzarella cheese, and I sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top as well. You're going to bake your lasagna in a 375-degree oven covered with an aluminum foil for 1 hour, and then you're going to take your foil off and broil it on low until you see the cheese start getting bubbly and gooey and delicious like it looks here. So this is what the lasagna looked like plated up. Of course, we had some garlic bread on the side. It's delicious. It's always delicious. Who doesn't like lasagna? So I'm leaving you with a picture here of some food that we got at our last Christmas party that we had this past weekend at Claddagh Irish Pub. It's so delicious. That shepherd's pie and bangers and mashed potatoes there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.